Okay, what do you think?
Okay, I like it. Feels a little smooth. What do you think about the fuel mileage? Oh no, there's no fuel!
No, I like it. The biggest thing I find is I live in town, sort of close to work.
Okay.
So for me, it's more about like getting to and from work and then whatever else.
Yeah.
That being said, I think it was 2 weekends ago, I drove to Stouffville. Like I drove a whole weekend. So they're only supposed to go to 80% battery. Like for daily driving, they don't recommend to go to 100%. It's like your phone. You know how you put on like life cycle or whatever on the battery?
Yeah.
It's like that. So it only charges to 80 daily driving. Now you can go in the app and bump it up, or in the screen here and go to 100% if you have a road trip. So on 80% charge, I get like 410 kilometers of range, I think it shows. And then on a full battery, I get like 550, maybe encroaching on the 600.
Whoa.
So it's actually not bad. Like I can go to Hamilton and back on one charge.
So how long does it take to charge it though, to get to 80%?
Probably about 6 hours on a level 2 charger. For me, like I come to work, like when my battery drains, I'll go to work and plug in.
Right.
But the biggest thing for me is like everybody plugs their phones in at night. So why is it different with the car?
Yeah, just plug it in and...
Exactly.
And 6 hours really isn't that much time.
Well, you go to bed and you plug it in and you wake up in the morning, you have 400 kilometers.
Say you're doing a trip to further than Hamilton, 4 hours away. How do you plan to like plug in, and then like how long?
In the app, you can go in and play around with it. It has like route planning. Say right now we wanted to go to Hamilton. I have 286 kilometers of range. You put in the address and then it shows you chargers along the way. And then you can click like the fastest charger or whatever the case. So
there's like different levels of how fast.
There's DC fast level 2, level 1. Level 1 just goes into 120 volt. Level 2 is a 240, and then DC fast is like the big chargers that you'd probably see at like a gas station or the one that we have at the store.
So it would take far less time than the 6 hours.
But I look at it like, okay, so if I was going to go to Hamilton, or like if we were going to take a road trip right now, then maybe it's a case where, okay, let's get down to Oshawa, like the golf town, plug into the DC fast, let's go walk around golf town for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Plug it in and then you can get a charge. So it does take a little bit more planning, and I think that's what people, like a lot of the anxiety and stuff comes from.
Yeah.
But
unless you're making trips like that all the time, it really,
this is like,
especially if you're just going to be working out about in town.
Now, the caveat to this is a 2X.
So what does that mean?
So this is a middle trim. So it has the smaller battery and only 2 motors, and then the 3X has the 3 motors and large battery.
So you said a 3X, is that what you said? For the higher one?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long a charge would that get you?
I think it's like 650 on a full charge. But keep in mind you're using 3 motors.
Yeah.
And my mileage, like I've done almost 600 kilometers in this truck. But like I'm not driving it like anything special. Like I have music on, heated seat on, heated steering wheel. I warm it up in the morning. Like I'm not doing anything different that I did in my past trucks, like a Sierra or a Yukon.
Yeah.
To really get like the whole picture of like daily driving it.
Well, how much does it cost you to charge it though? Like what's the difference between like I don't even know. Like I feel like it'd use up a lot of your energy.
I've been driving for probably like 2 weeks. It's probably cost me $75.
Come on.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No.
Oh my God, that's insane.
And they're quick too. Like.
Yeah. I feel like we're going into liftoff here.
No, it's cool. Like it's different, and don't get me wrong. Like this is a Hummer, right? So I'm not trying to showcase the Hummer. What I want to showcase is EV driving, because that is sort of the future. You know, manufacturers are all mandating EV production and manufacturing and stuff, but I just want to get the awareness out there that like if you live in Lindsay or surrounding area, like you can do it, and it makes sense to do it, right? Like in my Yukons, I'd be like $180, $200
well,
in
that's
fuel.
The thing. Yeah.
So to go to $75, I can, you know what I mean? That saves me however much. Now that depends on how much you drive, obviously, but.
What about the cost comparison for vehicles? Like, say, can you compare your Yukon, like the actual like finance amount versus this Hummer? Is that
it's pretty comparable.
Difference?
Like, again, depending on how far you go with it, right? So a Yukon Denali Ultimate's like 135 grand, we'll call it, right? That's top trim, every option. This would have a lot of the similar options that vehicle would have. And it's 136,000.
Oh, so it's like right on par.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's so quiet.
I know.
It feels different than an actual like fuel or gas vehicle.
What's cool about it is there's no gears. So the thing that gets me is it's not like
it doesn't have to like shift and catch up.
Like your truck has 10 gears. This one technically just has one, so it just goes and it just keeps going until
is so weird.
You let off.
It feels like an airplane almost.
Yeah.
You know how like right before liftoff it just takes off and goes? That's how it feels.
Like it does 0 to 90 and like I think this one's 3.5 seconds and then the faster one goes to 3.
Does the top of this come off or like what is this?
This is the Infinity Sky Panel. These two come out, that bar comes out, and then the two in the back.
Oh,
and what's cool is I can
decide.
take just mine out.
Oh, you only have to take one. Yeah.
And then what I really like is that whole window back there, that whole thing drops down.
What? Can you put it down?
Rather than just like the slider.
Whoa, that's cool.
Really cool summer car. One of the other things that I actually really like that's pretty much in most of the EVs is they call it the frunk. Like the front trunk, because there's no engine, the whole front space is a trunk.
What?
Yeah, so I put like all my golfing stuff up there. So my hats, my shoes, stuff that otherwise would be inside the vehicle, but I can put it up there, out of the way, out of sight, out of mind.
Oh, that's
So that's
slick.
something that's cool as well. It's packed with all the tech, like Super Cruise, forward collision alert, heated, cooled seats. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't miss things about my gas truck. Like,
okay, so tell me about that. What are you missing? I feel like this feels the same, if not better.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Right? But the little
what
things it's more just personal what I'm used to, right?
Okay.
Like a Hummer versus a Yukon or a Sierra, very different. It's not necessarily about the Hummer because it's it's a niche vehicle. Like people who want a Hummer, they know they want a Hummer.
How much does it cost to get one of those plugins installed at your home?
So it's going to depend because depending on what panel you have in your house. Right? And then so that
panel?
Could have to be altered. A lot of new builds now don't have to be altered, but really whatever has to be done to your house, right?
Okay.
And then, but on the vehicle side, it's a charger, a level 2 charger from GM. The Ultium charger is about $2,000.
Oh, that's fairly reasonable.
Yeah. Well, when you think about over the course of a year, how much money you're saving.
Yeah, that's
it's
really nothing.
Yeah, it's really not too bad. So we've gone 20K. We've been driving for like 25 minutes. We're burning 2.6 kilometers
per kilowatt.
And then the app, when you go into the GMC Connecta app, it actually breaks it down over the lifetime of the vehicle. I did it the other day. I'm getting about, I think it was like 5 kilometers, like liter per 100.
Okay.
Right? Would be your fuel mileage. So your truck would say like 8 or 10 or whatever liters per 100 kilometers.
Right.
This gets about 5 when you do the translation or the conversion.
Whoa.
So it's significantly and this is a Hummer, so it's a little bit bigger, but you can see the efficiency with an EV, like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's all, again, like we have the AC on and everything else.
Yeah, the heated seats.
Radios on, yada, yada, yada.
All the things. Hey, I want to drive this thing. It's like all lit up on the front.
No, it's cool. All right.
It's so quiet.
So it's cool. Like it's quiet, comfortable. Like there's nothing really.
Yeah. It just feels the same, but just quieter. Quieter.
There you go.
Hey, this is the exact same as the truck.
Yeah.
Whoa. It doesn't feel any wider than the truck.
Well, it's the same width as like an HD pickup truck.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
So it's probably
a little bit bigger than my truck.
Couple inches, yeah.
I thought it would feel a lot wider inside. Like now that we're in it, it feels like about the same size.
Well, it looks huge on the outside.
Yeah.
And then you get in it and you're like, oh, this actually isn't.
It's an illusion.
Yeah.
Almost, right?
Yeah.
I thought it would feel really like uncomfortable driving it out on the road, but it feels normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like even driving it now, it doesn't really feel like there's no difference.
And that's one of the things that I like about it. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Just plug it in at night. But I really want to get into like, I want to tow a boat with it. I want to, like, we took an RV on trade, so I was thinking like, hey, hook it up to this and let me go camping like up in Algonquin Park. What does that look like?
What
you know,
does that
RVs can plug in. Can I plug my truck in, right? Or can I have it that I plug my truck in and the power goes through to the RV? Like, how does all that stuff work?
Yeah, and I wonder how much you'd be burning when you are towing.
Yeah.
Do they have like a range if you are towing?
Everything's all on paper, and it's all on a flat road, perfect temperature. There's one person in the car, and that's pretty much it. And this is how far I got.
Yeah.
I just want to do like with me and my significant other and my dog, and this is what we do, and this is how it fit into my life, and this is why it works.
Yeah.
I just want it to be super practical. You read the thing and you're like, oh yeah, that's not bad, but what if I have the stereo on? What if I have the heat and my heated seat and my heated steering wheel on? How does that change things?
Yeah. You just
from how long I've driven it, I don't notice a difference at all. I mean,
so you need to start trying these things so you can have a genuine, organic feel about what it looks like.
And be able to answer questions.
Yeah.